So are you a fan of the movie It's a Wonderful Life?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That seems to be one of those films that people either love or hate. I don't know why people hate it.
Yeah, I can't see how anybody would hate that movie.
Yeah. We've had some tough times in our lives, and most people have.
Yes, we have.
And I must say, the scene with Jimmy Stewart in the bar at Martini's.
Yes.
When he's at the end of his rope.
Yes.
And he's, I'm not a praying man, but.
Oh, gosh.
Please show me the way.
You just got me.
Well, me too.
That scene right there, that is so relatable, man.
I tell you why that movie is so special to me. My father had never seen it, believe it or not. Never had watched it. The night we watched it was around the time he was losing everything.
Wow.
He was really, and it was really hard to get him to sit down and watch a movie, but I could tell it was hitting home to him.
Mm-hmm.
And it, like you were talking about that scene, that got to me because I was thinking about the way he looked when he was watching that. If you've ever gone through tough times, you know exactly what he was feeling. Yeah. And all of us here have.
Yeah.
We have gone through times.
Especially as that character was thinking that his entire life had been a waste. He never got to do what he wanted to do.
Right. He's always doing for others.
Right. Welcome to a podcast about music and entertainment. Before it all goes down the disposal, this is Circling the Drain.
Welcome back to Circling the Drain. You've got John E. Bozeman right here, Johnny B. A lot of people know me as. Over here, the other J Harper.
That's me. Hi, Johnny B. Always good to see you. And I will now toss it. Can I toss it?
Toss it.
I'm tossing it to Jim McCarthy, the man that just molds this all together.
I press the buttons.
The brains behind this.
Well, there had to be, among three of us, we needed at least one brain.
Yeah, we did. We found him.
And we found it. We found it.
Thank you.
Yeah, see, we're the looks, he's the brain.
That's right.
All right.
That makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. And
I'll go along with that.
And we're so humble.
Yes, we are. It's so hard to be humble. And you know what? It's the most wonderful time of the year.
That is.
Unless you're in radio.
The blue. Yeah, we can actually talk about some of our hated songs we had to play.
Blue Christmas would be
Christmas
up there.
time. I never cared for the Elvis version of that,
I never
frankly.
did either. And
Ernest Tubb had a big hit with it, and but people kind of forgot about that, but yeah, it's Elvis. You know?
And the song was depressing, and then you had those background singers. Oh my God! Make it stop.
Yeah, but the Porky Pig version's not too bad.
Yeah, yeah. Here we go. Because I'm on Quaalude, baby.
That's right. Sitting on the toilet.
What a way to go out. No wonder they called him the king. He went out on the throne. Yes, he did. But
have a blue.
God. Yes, I'm turning blue.
Boy, I'm going to have to go to church. Forgiveness. Forgive me, Lord.
Forgive me, Elvis.
But yeah, we had to, working Christmas in radio.
Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, working those holidays.
And always long shifts, too.
Yeah, that's right,
Super
man.
long shifts.
Yeah, I can remember. I'm sure you guys do, too. We're pulling 12-hour shifts at times.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Well, in fact, I did that starting out at my dad's station. I started out doing 9 in the evening till 6 in the morning.
Yeah, that's
a long
That
shift.
is a long ass shift, man.
Oh, it is.
Yeah. I mean, I've pulled all-nighters and stuff covering hurricanes down in Louisiana, but that's a little different. But at holidays, you're the only one there.
Oh, yeah.
Which has its advantages.
Sometimes.
Yeah. But it can be a little depressing sometimes when you're sitting there saying, damn, I'm making $2.35 an hour sitting here for 12 hours. and, my wife or family, they're like having a nice dinner and wondering, gee, where the hell is your husband? Oh, he's at the radio station. Really?
Yeah.
On Christmas?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's tough. Well, and two, it was real bad even when I was working on Music Row. Anytime it was Christmas, that period between Christmas and New Year's, Music Row is the most depressing place to be because it's usually just vibrant, or it was back in those days. It was always vibrant, people everywhere, and it'd be like a ghost town. It looked like it did during COVID. It was just nothing going on.
Well, and when I work record labels at Christmas time, they would freeze the chart.
Yeah.
That you promoted. So okay, now what?
Yeah, there's nothing to do.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people would indeed take that time off at the end of the year for a record label. But radio, man, you're still out there churning.
Well, and I'll tell a story. And when I tell these stories, I've gotten some flack from folks because people still think I'm imbibing, and I'm not. You want to talk about a sober guy? I'm as sober as a judge now. And in fact, that's why nobody comes to visit me anymore, because I don't drink or I don't do any of those other things I used to do that some people are enjoying doing now.
Yeah.
But I don't.
So
but,
you ain't much fun since you quit drinking is how other folks look at it.
I guess that's the way they look at it. I still think I'm fun. I think I still
Yeah, you're just a riot there, Johnny.
Boy, that hurt.
Come on, I'm picking on you. Come on. Giving Johnny oh gosh.
But I used to work.
Am I on The Price is Right?
I think you are.
Yeah. Oh gosh,
I think
I went over.
You lost the car.
I know, I went over. Son of a gun. I lost the Datsun.
But I got to tell this story because I was working. This guy used to work with Willie Nelson.
Yeah.
And he's no longer with us. Ed Hamilton. He was an older gentleman. He did the AM side. I worked on the FM side. We worked at the country station. It was on Music Row. And the day before, he goes, "Hey man, are you working Christmas Day?" I said, "Oh yeah, I'll be here." Told him when I was going to, he said, "I'll be here same time." He said, "Just saw Willie. He gave me some fun stuff." He said, "I'll have one for you when we get here." I said, "Okay." Well, we go through the entire shift and I say, "Hey Ed, how you doing?" "Doing good." Never says anything about what Willie gave him until about, I think it was 11:30 in the morning. And Ed goes, "Hey, I got this thing that Willie gave me. He said, you want to try one?" If you've ever heard the song by Toby Keith, "I'll Never Smoke Weed with Willie Again," believe it. Mm-hmm. Because I believe Ed, I think he did because he knew Willie. And it was the only time I've never been able to finish one. I only took 2 hits off this thing and had to go back into the studio. And
could you find your way back in?
I could barely. But the thing that was bad was I look and I went, "Oh, I got to read a live spot." That was the worst read I've ever done. And luckily I found, have you ever heard "Merry, Merry Christmas, Baby" about the King by Elvis?
Yeah.
There's a long version that's 7 minutes long. I played that during that last 30 minutes. And in fact, I may have done it. I think you all want to hear that again, don't you?
One more time.
"Merry, Merry Christmas, baby."
Usually known as a bathroom song.
Yes, it was. Yes. Well, there were a lot of those.
Yeah.
Yeah. Back in the country radio, most of those country songs, though, from the 60s and 70s were like 2.5 minutes, man.
That's why I think that's why
Buck Owens songs are like 2 minutes long.
Yeah. Well, see, I think that's why Red Sovine had hits. Nothing against Red Sovine.
Let's talk to Teddy Bear.
Yeah. Teddy Bear was a #1 song. And I thought, well, no wonder it was like 6 minutes long. I'm sure every DJ across the country, hell, let's put that one on. You also had "My Home's in Alabama," the long version.
Yeah, the long version of that.
Yeah, I played that a lot in Alabama.
Yeah. I could see you playing that, and you know some of the Christmas songs, some of those had a little length to them as well. What were some of the Christmas songs that you dreaded having to put on the turntable back then?
Well, there were several.
Besides Blue Christmas by Elvis.
Well, there was one, and God bless. You know, I love Waylon Jennings. Waylon Jennings is one of my favorite artists, but he did the most god awful version of Silent Night I have ever heard. I think it was him and Jesse. And I didn't care that one or Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer.
Yeah, that's always on the top of everybody's list.
Yeah.
That and the barking dogs.
Oh yeah, the barking dog.
Yeah, but you know the little kids, man.
Oh, they
call
love
them,
that stuff.
Request that stuff.
Yeah, got to make them happy. But yeah,
I might have been one of them. Sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. You know, and when I got into talk radio, I love the Bob Rivers stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And Twisted Radio. Man, they had the greatest Christmas song.
Walking around in women's underwear.
That was a big one.
Mm-hmm.
We always called that the J. Edgar Hoover choir. And also had he had that one Jingle Hell's Bells where the guy sounded just like Bon Scott. That was good. And I came upon a roadkill deer.
He was like a Christmas Weird Al.
Yeah, he was. He was very good.
And
In fact, we lost him not too long ago. Didn't
Oh, really?
we? Yeah.
But that's how he made his name, was in radio parodies and stuff.
Yeah, it was.
Do you remember when Trans-Siberian Orchestra came out?
Yes.
That was eye-opening.
Yes, it was eye-opening.
Yes.
And who was the other one? That Mannheim Steamroller.
Mannheim Steamroller.
In fact, Rush Limbaugh, I think, made them.
Did he?
He made him a few bucks. Yeah,
I
you're
think
right.
he
He
did.
used to play them a lot.
Yeah, he did. I think that's where they really got their steam from, so to speak.
Right.
We got to see TSO out in Vegas when we first moved there. They were actually doing their tour, and they didn't have enough songs. So they played the hit, I think, twice. You guys want to hear that again? Oh, well, sure. All right.
Why not?
All right, here we go again.
Yeah, we're here.
One
Go
more
ahead.
time.
Go ahead. Now, Deborah Allen had one I liked. What was it? Rockin' Christmas? Rockin' Little Christmas? Wasn't a bad song.
Yeah, we, you know, if folks kind of keep watching, they may
Maybe.
They may get a little Rockin' Little Christmas right here.
from Deborah Allen.
Yeah.
That's a possibility.
Sure
Perhaps.
Perhaps. Well, she kind of likes us.
Yeah.
We like her.
I worked for the rock station in Connecticut, and we only added like 3 songs to the rotation around that time because the whole Christmas music thing hadn't taken root yet.
Yeah.
And of course, when I came here, Mix 92.9 became all Christmas right after Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what is it? Hallmark Channel's been playing. They've been playing the Christmas movies already.
Yeah, they are.
Tell
me about it.
They started. Yeah, they started.
One of us at home likes to watch those.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, they
Let
started
me guess the plot.
back in October.
Yes.
Woman who's just overburdened by the city has a career and she just needs to get away to work on the project.
Yes, and
she
there's
goes
a bad guy.
back home.
Yeah,
That's right. And then there's
He bakes bread.
a hunky handyman
That's right.
works at the property.
And he's a nice guy.
Yeah.
But I'm with this abuser here.
That's right. And we knew each other back when we were in high school, but he was on the wrong track, not like I was. But there's something about him now, and apparently he's made his life. He's a multimillionaire who owns tons of land in this rural area.
And he loves children and dogs.
But I'm hiding something from him. I haven't told him everything about me yet, and that's going to come to light. I'm going to have to reckon with that.
Yes, the sex change operation was successful.
You're talking about the new version of the Hallmark movies.
Yeah. No, that's on Bravo. Yeah. Okay. Gosh. Do you ever critique that? See, as a voiceover guy, the dude that does the promos for Bravo, I just want to. I mean, I guess
How does he sound?
He's like one of those metrosexual guys, I guess.
Okay.
No, everything sounds like Bravo.
He's a soy boy.
Yeah, it's coming up next on Bravo. Bravo. It's on Bravo. Oh, God. I mean, does any man with a set of want to watch that channel I mean, don't they have the RuPaul's Drag Race and all that mess on there? Good God.
Remember, I think it was Joe Cipriani.
Oh, I don't say I know Joe, but I have worked with him.
Yeah.
He is
he was the guy that was like, tonight on an all new Friends. And then on an all new ER. It was the same guy.
Yeah. Joe is a cool dude. He's a great guy, very talented. But yeah, he's been the promo voice for ABC, CBS. He's been.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He's not made any money at all.
No. Yeah, he's got a studio at his house. I haven't been there, but I've done some work with Joe but through Zoom. Yeah. And, you can see his studio in there. It's like, looks like soundstage,
Wow.
Yeah, he's done all right for himself. But hey, he's an old radio guy, you know? So
it can happen.
Yeah.
It can happen.
Well, that's where a lot of those guys, like Don LaFontaine, the movie trailer voice.
In a world.
His like big break was accidental. The guy who was supposed to do the voice, so he used to write the movie trailers, and the guy who was supposed to record like one in particular, either didn't have it scheduled or he forgot to show up or something happened. Well, Don, why don't you take a crack at it and do a scratch track? And he did. And
wow.
All she wrote.
Yeah. Like anybody wouldn't have thought of using that guy to begin with.
Right.
I mean, come on. Yeah, he's been dead for a while now, but he still is the standard,
Well, I still remember, I think he did the voiceovers for NBC. His name was Victor Bozeman. And it always flipped me out as a kid because when I was a kid, I never met anybody really that had the last name Bozeman.
Right.
All of a sudden, there's this guy, this is Victor Bozeman, NBC, coming up on NBC tonight. Great voice. Turned out, and I never knew he was black. But gosh, great voice. No longer with us, but
Was it Don Pardo?
He was the NBC voice.
Saturday then you had Gary Owens.
Saturday Night Live.
Saturday Night Live.
I always loved Gary Owens on Laugh-In.
Laugh-In.
Yes. I'm Gary Owens.
What an art form it was.
Johnny Olsen.
That's right. But Christmas, man. And then you always had like on television, the Christmas specials.
Oh, yeah. So,
from my childhood, I have good memories of those old shows. Bing Crosby, Perry Como.
Yeah, I always liked the Bing Crosby ones because it made you feel warm and fuzzy. Andy Williams,
Bing Crosby would bring on his dorky, untalented kids,
Well, and what was
they couldn't sing.
Yeah, but it was surreal that one year when he brought out David Bowie.
Yeah.
And they did, what was it, Little Drummer Boy?
Yep, right. That and that gets played at Christmas time on radio. And, and perhaps you guys have heard it too. The stories about, Bing Crosby didn't know who the hell David Bowie was.
Yeah.
They kind of got together and did that. And apparently Bowie was really impressed. He thought, he was a nice young man. And and saying, apparently Bowie was, polite and respectful. He, certainly knew he was singing with an icon.
Right.
There was no disrespect there.
Yeah.
But that's a cool moment.
That was a cool moment. It was kind of surreal because I thought,
it is.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, it reminds me of when, have you ever seen the clip of when the Rolling Stones first played the Dean Martin show?
Mm-mm.
And after they get done, Dean goes, "Those Rolling Stones, weren't they great?"
Really? It was like crickets?
Yeah.
Really?
His eyes went up like, weren't they great?
Yeah, weren't they great?
Good luck with these guys.
But I did like the only Christmas special that I just couldn't take because it always depressed me was Charlie Brown. I don't know what it was about the Charlie Brown, but it was always so depressing.
Yeah, it was.
I would quit watching it and going, why did I watch this?
Yeah, with that pathetic little Christmas tree.
Oh yeah, the poor Christmas tree.
Yeah. Well, the best part about that whole show was the song.
Yeah.
Well, what about Linus reciting the Christmas story?
Yeah.
Lights, please.
Yeah.
No, but he was, but that was par for the course for Charles Schultz because he was a manic depressive.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, it came across.
Yeah. I think that was his therapy.
Because I wanted to shoot myself after I saw the thing. I'm sorry. Because a lot of people love Peanuts, and I did too. I mean, I got into the characters and everything, but after I'd watch it, I'd go,
why did I watch
God,
that?
I just feel really, things are bleak.
I had a Peanuts lunchbox. That thing would be
Did
worth
you
some
really?
money now.
Yeah, it would.
Was it metal?
Yeah.
Oh, those are the good ones.
Yeah. I was probably like first grade. So that would have been 66, 67, something like that. But the Charlie Brown stuff, you're right. It was kind of depressing.
Kind of a downer.
Yeah, kind of depressed. No.
Now, see, I gotta really give it to my dad, because we were talking about dads a while back. But my dad did the coolest thing one Christmas, because where I was growing up in Wichita, there was this guy named Henry Harvey that Dad worked with that did a lot of TV and radio. And Henry did this show called Santa's Workshop. And every kid, I guarantee you, every kid in Wichita thought this was the real Santa Claus. I would watch that thing I would look forward to it every Christmas. And one Christmas, Dad had Henry call me like he was Santa Claus. It was phenomenal because, now all you kids watching, Henry wasn't the real Santa Claus. The real Santa Claus was elsewhere, but Dad wanted to just lift me up a little bit after watching that Charlie Brown thing. But Henry calls me, and I had fallen asleep waiting on him. And Dad wakes me up. Hey, you got a special phone call. And I get to the phone. Oh, it's Santa. And he's got the sound effects in the back. It sounds like there's wind. And I really don't, I'm kind of at a loss for words. I'm thinking, my God, it's really Santa Claus. You know, I'm coming to your house soon. You better get to bed. I'm thinking I was already there. But yeah,
Santa, you woke me up, you old bat. Anyway.
But yeah, I mean, when I look back on that, what a cool thing for my dad to do.
That's sweet.
That was very cool.
You know, you mentioned the Charlie Brown things now. I mean, you can only find those shows on Apple TV now.
Yeah.
You know, they've got the rights to them.
What about the Rankin Bass? Remember those? The Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer?
Yes.
With the claymation stuff.
Yes.
And Burl Ives.
That's right.
Holly Jolly.
Have a holly. God, what a voice he had.
Christmas.
Very beefy. He had a beefy voice.
Yeah, he did have a beefy voice.
Yeah, it was certainly unique.
He was kind of a beefy guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Silver and gold. Yeah. Burl Ives was one of those voices, man. You know, kind of like Willie. Boy, there's no mistaking who it was.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
Did he have a regular career, or did he just do only Christmas?
Well, he was an actor that appeared in some Disney stuff.
Yeah, he did.
I can't name the specific movies and episodes, but yeah, he was.
He's so aligned with the holidays.
Oh, very much so. Yeah. But you know, Holly Jolly Christmas is one of those songs that I've heard it enough. You know,
me too.
I don't need to hear it anymore. And I'm not a fan. And it is still rated the number. You see these surveys every year, the most popular Christmas songs, and many of those surveys still claim that Brenda Lee's "Rockin' Round the Christmas Tree" is the number one Christmas song.
Yeah,
and I just never have been a big fan of that.
No. And
that saxophone at the tail end of the thing just sounds like a constipated goose honking. It's just
like an afterthought.
Yeah. You know, at the end of that.
I guess it goes right there with Elvis's background singers on Blue Christmas. And you know, we had some great Christmas. I think one of my favorite Christmas movies, and it's a fairly recent one, has to be Four Christmases.
That's a great movie.
That was a fantastic, and it's so true.
Yeah.
Because the last thing, you know, the way Hollywood's always portrayed Christmas and families getting together, we're so excited to get together with family.
Right. No.
But most of us,
not always.
It's not always a good.
Yeah.
And that one was just, I especially love the safe word. Now, if we want to get out of there, mistletoe. And I loved when he got knocked off the roof. He's on the ground, can barely breathe. Mistletoe. We've all been there.
Tim McGraw was in that movie.
Yes, he was. Dwight Yoakam.
Yeah,
it's been a while.
Dwight
since I've seen
Yoakam,
that.
didn't he play
a pastor.
Yes.
Yeah.
He did a great job.
Yeah. Yeah. He was like the charismatic pastor that, everyone wanted to have him over, and his mother or her mother had something going on with him.
Yeah.
So are you a fan of the movie It's a Wonderful Life?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That seems to be one of those films that people either love or hate. I don't know why people hate it.
Yeah, I can't see how anybody would hate that movie.
Yeah, I know. I mean, and I don't know about you guys, but we've had some tough times in our lives, and most people have.
Yes, we have.
And I must say, the scene with Jimmy Stewart in the bar at Martini's.
Yes.
When he's at the end of his rope.
Yes.
And he's, I'm not a praying man, but
oh gosh,
please show me the way.
You just got me.
Well, me too.
That scene right there, that is so relatable, man.
Yep.
Well, it is.
Just show me the way. He's at the end of his rope, and apparently that was the first film that Jimmy Stewart made after World War II.
Yes.
Because he was a pilot, man. He wasn't one of those guys that just made, training films during the war.
Right.
He was in the action along with Ted Williams, Bob Feller. Those guys were pilots dropping bombs, man.
Yeah.
And supposedly Jimmy Stewart, it wasn't cool back then, but he had PTSD, from that experience.
Right.
And the raw emotion shown there is apparently pretty genuine.
Well, it had to be. I tell you why that movie is so special to me. It was always, we always watched it, but my father had never seen it, believe it or not. Never had watched it. And the night we watched it was around the time he was losing everything.
Wow.
He was really, and it was really hard to get him to sit down and watch a movie, but that one, and I could tell it was hitting home to him.
Mm-hmm.
And it, like you were talking about that scene, that got to me because I was thinking about the way he looked when he was watching that. If you've ever gone through tough times, you know exactly what he was feeling. Yeah. And all of us here have. Yeah. We have gone through times.
Especially as that character was thinking that his entire life had been a waste. He never got to do what he wanted to do.
Right. He's always doing for others.
Right.
Well, he's also facing potential jail time.
Yes.
Because he was being,
And also in that movie, don't you just want to slap the hell out of Uncle Billy?
Yeah, Uncle Billy.
It's like the money is in the newspaper.
Yes.
You dumb old, geezer. It's just, that's such a frustrating part of that film.
Billy was frustrating and so much Mr. Potter.
Yeah.
Because we've all met a Mr. Potter in our lives.
Right.
They run radio stations.
Yeah, they do. Trust me. And they're not all male.
Yeah, the meanest man in Bedford Falls.
The funny thing is that you mentioned, again, going back to our father episode.
Yeah.
I think that movie resonates with a lot of men.
I think it does too.
A lot of people that may not like it, there's no relativity, there's no relative aspect to it.
Right.
I think, probably the traditional roles of marriage and family were very well laid out in that movie. Of course, him, FOMO, missing out on these opportunities, but not obviously seeing the big picture of his impact on other people's lives, and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm a latecomer to that movie as well. Really? I haven't seen it until the last maybe decade or so in my life.
Yeah,
great movie.
It is a great movie, and I used to. I haven't been doing it lately, but we used to make a point out of watching it.
I'll watch it several times.
Yeah,
because it's on all. I think TBS. I think they run it over and over and over there on Christmas Eve and Christmas night.
That and A Christmas Story.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to say it. I've never been a fan of that movie.
Really?
I don't get it. My wife's the same way. She and I have watched that thing. Let's say, all right, what do we mean? We'll give it another chance. And when it's over, we look at each other and go, what the hell was that? We just don't. That movie does nothing for me.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. It does nothing for me either.
Now, see, Jim's kind of a generation a little bit behind us.
Yeah.
And,
because I saw it when it came out in the theaters.
Yeah.
I went to because the actual house they filmed is in Cleveland. Ohio.
Yeah.
And that whole block is all about the Christmas story.
Wow.
They got a gift center. The house is still there. You can take tours through it, the whole 9 yards. And I went through it, and they asked on one of the tours, like, who saw the movie when it came out? And I was like, I was the only one. I raised my hand, and he goes, "Yeah, you are about one of the very few that saw that movie in the theater when it came out. It was a bomb."
Yeah,
but it became a.
It's a Wonderful Life was a bomb.
Yeah, it was. It did not do well.
Didn't do anything in 46 when it came out.
No.
But yeah, I have a Christmas story. Do you?
I do.
Yeah, was it fragile?
It was fragile. I don't have they charged extra for the box. You can actually get the box, the wooden box. That was about $250 for the box.
Wow.
The leg lamp was $400 something.
Oh my God.
But I'm like, screw it, I'm buying it. And we put it on display every year. And that's one of our selection of movies we watch. I will say they did justice with the sequel. Because they revisited it when Ralphie gets older. Yeah. And it's actually, they did a good job. They did a very good job.
So Peter Billingsley he's in that as an adult, right?
Yep.
Yeah. I do. When it comes to Christmas movies, I'm an old softie. I love watching White Christmas with Bing Crosby and Danny Kaye every year.
Danny Kaye.
Yeah, the color in that, the old Technicolor in the films was just so
saturated.
Brilliant. Yeah, it was just so brilliant.
Yeah.
But
it was so new back then.
Yeah, it was fun, man, with Rosemary Clooney when she was kind of cute.
Yeah.
Back in her day.
Back in the day.
Yeah, before she, like many of us, put on a few pounds.
Yeah.
Funny thing about Ralphie, Peter Billingsley, he actually has an uncredited role in Elf.
Really?
Yes.
I did not know.
He plays Ming Ming the Elf, who when
I'll have to watch that
Buddy is building the Etch-a-Sketches, he comes up and checks on him.
Yeah.
And it's Peter Billingsley. Uncredited.
See, another movie because I don't like Will Ferrell, so that's
what a classic,
kind of my problem.
Yeah, that was. I did like Elf.
Yeah, I'm just kind of neutral on it, I guess.
Well, the thing with
I like Bob Newhart, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Who couldn't love Bob?
He was good in that.
But Will Ferrell, I'll say this, and I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but I like Will Ferrell, but it seems like in his movies, the first part of the movie is just hilarious.
Yeah.
But then as the movie wears on, he kind of wears on you after a while. It's okay, it's not funny anymore.
Right.
I don't know if that's just me or.
Well, I've never found Will Ferrell funny, so.
I found him very funny in Talladega Nights. That was probably one of the best I saw him.
Ricky Bobby.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the guy that really stole the movie to me was the guy that played his father, Gary Cole, who's one of my favorite actors anyway. But his role as his dad was just hilarious, especially when he picks up the tickets.
So
because Billy, he does not have a great relationship with his father. Father never shows up to any of his races, and he keeps leaving tickets for his father.
Mm-hmm.
And his father shows up finally at the end. He said, "I think you have 2 tickets for me." He said, "Sir, we've been waiting for you for years."
Mm-hmm.
He takes the tickets, looks at him, says, "I got 2 tickets." Trying to sell them.
Is Gary Cole is that Gary Cole is he was Mike
Office Space.
Was he Mike Brady in those Brady movies that were hilarious, by the way?
And he made them. He's just a great actor.
Yeah, he's
very underrated.
Yeah.
Yes, he is underrated.
Yeah, he can be funny. He can be kind of ominous too.
Yes, he can. He can be a bad guy.
Yeah,
very good bad guy.
Right.
He was Lumbergh in Office Space. Hey, Peter, if you can go ahead and put the cover sheets on those TPS reports, that would be great.
Well, I do see a lot of memes with him.
Yes.
Doing that line.
He did such a great job with that character.
Yes, he did.
Yeah. Have you seen the Christmas movie Jingle All the Way?
Yes.
With Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yes, unfortunately.
Now, see, I get a kick out of that. I like that.
Okay.
Yeah. I thought Sinbad was funny in that.
who was the guy who died? Phil
Hartman.
Yes. He was good in that.
Yeah.
Phil Hartman was good in everything.
Yes,
Yeah.
he was.
You talk about a guy that can make me laugh, and I love the voice.
That's right.
What a great voice he had.
And he was, as I'm sure you guys probably know, I mean, he was a graphic designer.
Yes.
That Poco album
Yes.
that all of us are familiar with,
Yes.
except Jim.
Legend.
Yeah. Now, do you know what I'm talking about, Jim? The Poco album that had just the drawing of a horse. It's a white album with a black horse.
Yes.
Too familiar.
You can see, it's from the front.
Yes.
Yeah, Phil Hartman designed that.
Yes, he did.
And Phil Hartman also, I think it was some Led Zeppelin covers that he was a part of.
He was also a part of
dude, man.
Pee Wee's Playhouse, I think.
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
Because they were very good friends.
Yeah, they were.
In fact, I think he helped write a lot of those.
Yeah, because he was a big writer on SNL, and I guess he got his start through Pee Wee's Playhouse or something.
Man, I was heartbroken when he.
Yeah.
Oh, what a tragic story.
Oh my gosh.
And he had told people his wife was nuts, and boy, she proved it.
Yeah, she did.
It's just,
well,
tragic.
and even friends were trying to get him away from that situation. And in fact, an ex-wife who he stayed friendly with, she said that she visited them one time, and when he was out of earshot, this wife that ended up killing Phil Hartman looked at her and said, like very ominous, like, you don't need to come back.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of threatening. And she said, I really wanted to warn him that he had not gotten with somebody good.
You got me thinking about Christmas movies now, and I'm trying to think of one recently that came out that's kind of been added to our repertoire is with David Harbour, who was in the Stranger Things and stuff like that, and where he plays Santa, but like before that he was like a Viking warlord or something like that. And he got changed into Santa, but remembers his roots, and like it's a violent movie.
Yeah.
And it's a good one. And it's like, it's kind of a cool Christmas movie, It's John Leguizamo's in it. I got to find out the name of it.
Well, that's interesting you say that, because I remember one year when I made the mistake of letting my sister take my son to go shopping for Christmas movies.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going, what movies did we get? And they named them off, and then all of a sudden I get Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Yeah.
And I went, no. I said, why did you let him buy that? Why did you let him rent it? Because he loved slasher movies.
Oh, gosh.
He was a big slasher movie fan. I am not. Especially when it comes to Christmas.
Yeah. I mean, what a horrible environment for, setting for a Christmas movie.
Yes. Yeah. Especially for the whole family.
Getting back to that movie I mentioned with David Harbour, I found out the name of it. How could I possibly forget this name? Violent Night.
Violent
Night.
Oh, gosh.
It's a good one. It really is. I'd watch it again.
Okay. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah. For us, older cynics.
Demented radio people.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But there's apparently there's a Violent Night 2 that is in the works. And even last year, Jason Bateman had a movie that was based around the holidays, another Christmas. Oh, here's a debate. Why do we not think of this?
Yes.
Is Die Hard a Christmas movie? I say yes. Absolutely yes.
I really don't know how to answer that.
Yeah, I don't either.
I'm conflicted.
People and social media would agree with you, because there's about an equal weight of yay and nay regarding that movie.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is that is Die Hard 2 a Christmas movie? Because that again takes place at Christmas.
At Christmas time, yeah.
What makes a Christmas movie? I mean, is Iron Man 3, is that a Christmas movie? I say yes, because it takes place at Christmas.
Yes. I did love that movie.
Iron Man 3?
Yes, I did.
It's a great movie.
It was a great movie.
Very pivotal. But I'm a Marvel nerd, so, all the movies.
Well, we're all nerds.
Well, I knew about the nerd part. I just didn't know about the Marvel.
That's
the Marvel part.
I'll take it.
Yeah, no, man.
And speaking of our nerddom, I was a nerd with Jurassic Park World.
Mm-hmm.
This latest one, It's time to quit.
Really? I haven't seen it.
No,
I know you had said you were kind of excited.
I was
looking forward
excited.
to seeing
We
it.
made a big deal out of it because I think we did one of our podcast broadcasts that day, and I was looking forward to when we got off. I said, we're going to get popcorn. We're going to watch on the big screen and put it on. And the more I watched it, I went, man, why did I get excited for this?
It's the same old thing over and over again.
Well, it just wasn't, I can't really pin. Part of it was a horrible storyline.
Yeah.
Some of the acting was horrible in it. And then the dinosaurs, they tried to come up with new ones.
Hybrids.
Yeah, and I don't need hybrids. I just want dinosaurs.
Well, they get boring. I mean, they even make it in that movie. They talk about how the old,
Yeah, that's what they do.
The old dinosaurs.
Yeah, they just don't excite anybody anymore.
Dinosaurs aren't exciting. We brought them back from prehistoric era.
Well, even their hybrids, they suck. They're not. There's nothing. Okay, I've seen it.
We need a good Christmas alien movie.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, 1979 Alien, like the aliens wearing Santa hats, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, coming out of your gut.
That's right.
Yeah,
With the Santa hat.
Yeah.
My wife and I we've been on an Alien binge recently. We've been watching all in chronological order, all the Sigourney Weaver Alien movies, and a lot of fun.
Have you ever seen Sigourney Weaver? I saw her. It was it was something on the Beatles. I think it was the Ron Howard movie on the Beatles.
Mm-hmm.
But there was actually footage of her outside their hotel when she was younger.
Really?
She is gorgeous.
It's a smoke show.
But you should have seen her as a young lady.
Yes, I know it, man.
And
she did some real risque stuff. She was not one of those actresses afraid to take it all off, man.
Yeah.
I mean, she practically did in all the Alien movies. I mean,
well, she did in the Ghostbusters too. That one sexy.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the rooftop.
The Keymaster and the gatekeeper.
Yeah, she looked really hot when the gatekeeper took over, and she was.
What was really a good spin-off was a Star Wars Christmas.
Okay.
No?
I
was not aware there was such
I wasn't either. I didn't know.
It was awful.
Oh, well, sounds like it.
Darth Claus? Was that?
I don't know. But it was like a Christmas special with Star Wars characters.
Okay. Yeah, that had to be
in the 70s.
Luke Chimney Walker. So I tell you, there have been so many variations of A Christmas Carol, the Charles Dickens classic. But I have, if you've not seen this, I highly recommend it. My wife and I make a point to find this every year. It's the version that was done by the BBC. Guy Pearce plays Ebenezer Scrooge.
I dare say. And
it is outstanding.
Oh, wow.
It is. It's a different twist on the story to some degree. It's just brilliantly done. It came out, I don't know, 3-4 years ago, perhaps, but I highly encourage you to find it. Guy Pearce, it's just brilliant. It just gives a new, it just kind of brings that story. It renewed it for us, I mean, how many times can you see that? It's the same old thing. Ghost of Christmas Past, blah, 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 all that. But this is a really brilliant version. So, and it's a kind of a mini series kind of thing. There are a number of episodes. So yeah, look it up. Guy Pearce, A Christmas Carol.
Wow.
There's actually one like
Very
that
well done.
where they I guess there's an addendum to the story, and it's with Will Ferrell and Ryan Reynolds that came out in the last year or two. I'm going to find out the name of it. But what about Christmas? Like a lot of people have Christmas stories from like Christmas Day, what you normally did with family. What did you do with your family Christmas Eve that was like stays in your mind?
Wow.
Like that's really just, as a kid or whatever.
Well, for me, and we didn't do it every year, but we did it most of the time. And my family, we tried to continue the tradition from time to time. Again, my mother, 100%, Italian, and she would make ravioli on Christmas Eve.
I like that.
With the family recipe and such, And And I would help. And anyway, it got to be where, after I got married and stuff, my wife, it was just kind of this thing where, the afternoon of Christmas Eve, we'd all kind of chip in because it's work making those things.
Oh, yeah.
Especially the way my mom made it. My wife, she uses a pasta machine and all that now. But back then, my mom rather, would, made all that stuff by hand. And that wooden ravioli roller,
yes,
that has the little squares in it,
Yeah.
That's why so many of those Italian women back in the day were built like linebackers. It's because they were rolling out that dough, man. That is work, let me tell you.
Yeah, well, my mother used to make, and she did it for Christmas Eve. She made homemade noodles and roast.
Yeah.
And she would, like you said, man, she was making those noodles, and oh man,
yeah, that's a job, especially to make enough to feed a good sized group of people.
Right.
You're going to make a bunch of those things.
You're not kidding.
So anyway, that was kind of a tradition with us, is the ravioli on Christmas Eve, and boy, it was good. It has spinach and ham. Oh, don't say yeah.
No. I said, oh gosh.
Oh, okay, good.
That sounds
he was
delicious.
agreeing with you
Because I remember we would have people over when my mom would make the ravioli, or maybe freeze it and give it to people and stuff. And the kids in those families always loved it. Oh, this is great stuff. And then one day they kind of looked at her and what's that green stuff? Oh, that's spinach. And then all of a sudden they didn't like it.
Oh, of course.
It sounds unbelievable.
Oh, yeah. Spinach. And there would be ground up Italian sausage, hamburger, ground up carrots and stuff in there.
Ricotta cheese?
The goat cheese.
Yeah.
The ricotta cheese.
Oh, so
yes.
But yeah, good stuff.
Love
good
Italian
stuff.
food.
Man, I do too, especially if there used to be a great place in Birmingham friends would take me to, and it was owned by an Italian family. I forget what the name of the place was, but it's no longer there. But man, real Italian food made by, and Mama ran the place.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think she spoke any English at all. It was all Italian. Very good food.
Fortunately, my mom, she typed up all those recipes and stuff from the family and gave them to my, so we've been creating this family cookbook for years. It's about this thick now.
That's what you need to do. Yeah. You need to come out with a J. Harper Italian cookbook.
Yeah, Circling the Drain cookbook.
There you go.
There we go.
For Christmas Eve only.
Yeah.
See, more merch stuff.
Yeah, more merch to go with the stuff that's going to be on the website.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, we just hope everybody has a very Merry Christmas. Remember what the holiday is all about.
Spirited. That's the name of the movie.
Spirited. That's it.
I had to get that in.
Well, that's fine.
Yes.
But we want to make sure everybody has a very Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you two guys.
Yeah, you too.
And your families. And it's been a great year. I didn't know what this year was going to be like, but it has turned out to be wonderful working with you two gentlemen.
Yeah, same here, man. And, life after radio.
Yeah, it is. And where can they find us, Jay?
Well, they can find us on all the social media platforms, and you know what those are. I won't run through them, but also circlingthedrain.net. We've got a revamped website out there, and there's some merchandise choices, so we encourage you to visit.
Please do, and please come back and see us on Circling the Drain.